Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. Today's comment in question comes from Steve Smith. And Steve, I believe, is a pretty darn good player, and you'll see that when he starts talking about what he's shooting and the issues he's having here. Steve says, I've had a weird thing happen the last couple of days during my round. Both times I played really good rounds, but seemed to throw away some strokes on easy shots, almost as if I'm afraid that I might really shoot a low score. Believe it or not, that's a problem with some people. Consciously, I want to shoot as low a score as I can, but I'm beginning to wonder if subconsciously I don't want to go any lower. I only get that feeling when I'm already under par and pretty much already have my match won. That is when I lose focus, especially on easy chips and putts. The times when I am over par on my match and my match is still in doubt, I almost never have those lapses. I also don't have the lapses when I'm faced with the more challenging shots. On those, it's like I want the challenge and I will figure out a way to blow it any other time. Good points. I guess we could start off by saying that this is what we're talking about here is playing golf. Getting the ball in the hole. And I think one of the big issues there is that you hear tour players say it all the time, it's one shot at a time. I think another cliche or another what do we want to call it, a statement that everybody makes is that with anything you do in life, it's not over till it's over. Or as some people say, it's not over till a fat lady sings. And so you have to stay in the moment and stay in the shot. Now, as I said earlier, we always hear tour players saying, I'm going to go out tomorrow and I'm just going to concentrate on one shot at a time. You might have an overall game plan. You might have already decided that on this hole, no matter what, I'm going to lay up off of this tee and use my 3-wood or hit an iron down there or whatever, or this par 5, no matter what, I'm not going to go for the green today, even if I can reach it, because there's too much trouble there on the right, and barring certain circumstances like I have to make birdie to win, I might not try it. So you can have your game plan, but the key is staying in that moment. And then I think one of the other big issues most of us have to realize is that we have to start figuring out what makes you tick, what makes you as a player. I believe that most of us, when we're playing well, you're in player mode. You're definitely not in mechanics mode. You're just in player mode. You're feeling the shots. You decide on your shot. You make your good practice swings, and you step up there. You see it well. You visualize it well. You feel it well, and you do it. And you're thinking very clearly and everything else that you want to do. And so I think what has to start happening is if you're having these problems of these lapses, you have to start, as I asked you to keep stats about all your swings, well, let's start keeping some mental stats too. Try to identify in the round, where, when, and what caused you to start losing this concentration and becoming careless, or at least not making smart decisions. I don't want to use the word choking, all right? But if you want to, what makes you start choking? And in many cases, sometimes it's just the fact that because there's not enough on the line, meaning that you're still in the competition, you still have to, you're really close to your playing person that you're playing with in the match. You're tied or only one ahead or maybe one behind. You concentrate harder. Hell, I've always asked the question, why do we tend to make more 4, 5, and 6 foot putts for par than we do birdies? And I think it has something to do with the fact of the situation. Meaning, if I miss the par putt, I've just made a bogey and I'm one over for that hole. But if I make the birdie and I miss it and have a tap in, I still made a par. I didn't lose anything, but I didn't gain anything. But losing seems to be more of a cause and a reason to concentrate harder than gaining a shot. And so I think, therefore, we can look at a match and say at some point that has an effect in the match. I know many of us have to start figuring out for ourselves what makes us play better, and play better all the way until the last putt drops in the hole. And I think one of those things is to make sure that you approach every putt is just as important as the first shot on the first tee until that last putt and you pick the ball out of the hole on the 18th hole. And the match is over. The round is over. And so you can't let anything get in the way. And you have to figure out what makes you think and keep thinking positively. Another issue could be that if this seems to happen late in the round, you have to look at the fact that, are you running out of gas on the golf course? Maybe you need to be snacking in between your shots more often, eating a banana or eating peanut butter sandwich, or, you know, peanut butter crackers or something. We don't want to eat a lot, but we need to keep something in our systems to keep ourselves going, to keep gas in the tank, so to speak, and make sure that you're drinking enough, that you're staying hydrated when it's really hot, that you're drinking water. And in some cases, you have to use energy drinks, because water alone doesn't have all the chemicals that if you're sweating a lot and it's really hot and sweating, that you're losing. So that's another area to look at. So I think as we keep stats for score, you need to start keeping stats for your mental game too, and try to figure out what are the causes, what are the situations and causes and things that get you to start losing your concentration and your ability to really focus and really grind on every golf shot. And you hear that's great about any athlete. He grinds to the end. He never lets up. He never lets down. He's always in full gear forward. Figure out the things that are causing the issues with you to do that, from mental to emotional to physical, meaning you might be running out of gas. And once you get track of those, you should see your playing ability definitely improve to shoot those lower scores and start becoming a better player day in and day out every time you tee it up. Well, that's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.